This discussion delves into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, emphasizing the development of an unshakable, resilient mindset that can face any challenge with poise. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy but a practical toolkit for modern life. Central to this mindset are the virtues of wisdom, courage, and self-control, which serve as a foundation for overcoming internal struggles like doubt, fear, frustration, and despair. By applying these principles, one can build mental resilience and maintain tranquility in the face of adversity. Life's toughest battles often take place in our minds, involving doubt, fear, and frustration. Stoicism offers a mindset that is resilient and unyielding, empowering individuals to face challenges with wisdom, courage, and self-control. This ancient philosophy, still relevant today, transforms obstacles into opportunities for personal growth. The Stoics emphasize that true strength lies in our response to adversity, not in the events themselves. Viewing challenges not as barriers but as tools for development is a profound shift in perspective that transforms the way we approach adversity. This idea, rooted deeply in Stoic philosophy, encourages us to see every difficulty, setback, and frustration as a stepping stone on the path to self-mastery rather than as an insurmountable block. Imagine facing a significant obstacle in your life, be it a career setback, a personal loss, or an unexpected crisis. Most people's natural response might be frustration, stress, or even despair. Challenges often come unannounced, shaking the foundation of our expectations and routines. But what if, instead of succumbing to these feelings, you could train your mind to view these situations as opportunities to grow? This mental reframe doesn't just ease the immediate stress, it reshapes your entire approach to life. The Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, emphasize that it is not the event itself that causes distress but our interpretation of it. By shifting our perception, we take control of our emotional responses and turn adversity into a kind of teacher. Each challenge becomes an invitation to test and strengthen our virtues, patience, courage, wisdom, and resilience. For instance, getting stuck in traffic becomes more than an inconvenience, it's a practice ground for cultivating patience. Facing rejection or failure becomes a lesson in humility and determination. This way of thinking brings to mind the idea of an athlete training with resistance. Just as muscles grow stronger through the strain of weights and resistance, so too does our character grow more robust when we actively engage with life's difficulties. When we see challenges as training grounds, we begin to look for the lessons embedded in them. Did a failure teach you to rethink your strategy? Did a conflict show you the importance of empathy or better communication? By answering these questions, challenges transform from things to be feared into tools that sharpen our skills and deepen our understanding. This approach isn't about forced optimism or ignoring pain. It's about acknowledging that while discomfort is real, it can be harnessed as fuel for growth. A major part of this perspective shift involves recognizing that challenges often push us into new territories where growth naturally occurs. The comfort zone, while safe, is stagnant. It's only when we face resistance that we evolve, becoming more adaptable and resilient. Moreover, seeing challenges as tools for development changes how we react when life throws us curveballs. Instead of recoiling, we can respond with curiosity. What can this teach me? How can I use this to become better? This mindset doesn't magically make life easier, but it does make us stronger, more resourceful, and equipped to face whatever comes our way. Over time, this practice builds a kind of internal sturdiness, a mental fortress that stands firm even as the waves of life batter against it. This process of reframing challenges into growth opportunities also involves accepting impermanence. The Stoics believe that life's changes, whether pleasant or painful, are temporary and necessary for growth. By embracing this truth, we can face change without fear, seeing it as a vital part of our development. In the grand scheme, viewing challenges as tools for development empowers us to become co-creators of our fate, rather than passive victims. Each setback turns into a story of perseverance, each failure an act of learning, and each obstacle a milestone marking progress on the road to mastery. In this way, life's difficulties stop being roadblocks and start becoming the paths to our greatest transformations. He notion that true wealth lies not in material possessions but in the power of ideas, and character is an idea as rich as it is timeless. This philosophy shifts our understanding of what it means to be truly prosperous, urging us to look beyond the tangible and ephemeral toward the intangible treasures of the mind and spirit. Think for a moment about the countless stories of wealthy figures whose fortunes were swept away by the tides of history. Palaces crumbled, empires fell, and fortunes vanished. Yet, amidst the ruins of material wealth, ideas and legacies endured. The teachings of great thinkers, the resilience of leaders, and the wisdom of philosophers continue to influence societies long after their physical possessions have turned to dust. This alone hints at an important truth: what holds real value is not what we accumulate, but what we contribute and cultivate within ourselves. The Stoics, including figures like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, believed that wealth based solely on material possessions is transient, fleeting like sand slipping through fingers. They taught that real wealth is found in the strength of one's character, in the quality of one's thoughts, and in the virtues that guide one's actions. Why? Because these are the treasures that external circumstances cannot take away. Storms may shatter ships, economies may falter, but wisdom, integrity, and ingenuity remain steady beacons through life's tumult. Consider that the world's most influential people are often remembered not for the luxuries they owned but for the ideas they championed and the principles they lived by. Great inventors, philosophers, leaders, and visionaries didn't leave behind legacies defined by the number of estates they owned but by the seismic shifts their thoughts and actions triggered. From the revolutionary insights of Leonardo da Vinci to the steadfast resolve of Nelson Mandela, it's clear that the currency of real change and enduring impact is rooted in character and ideas. This perspective on wealth invites us to rethink our goals. Are we investing in possessions that may delight us briefly but ultimately lose their luster? Or are we nurturing a mind that creates, questions, and inspires? Are we building a character that stands resilient in the face of adversity, that can guide and uplift others, or merely accumulating objects that time will erode? The true power lies not in a bank account, but in the thoughts that shape worlds and the virtues that drive meaningful action. Embracing this perspective doesn't mean discarding the importance of material needs or financial security. It acknowledges that while money and possessions are tools, they should not be the ultimate aim. They pale in comparison to the worth of ideas that ignite progress and the strength of character that withstands life's tests. After all, possessions can be stolen or lost, but the knowledge we acquire, the wisdom we practice, and the values we uphold are immune to such threats. In practical terms, this philosophy encourages us to cultivate a mindset that values deep thinking, creative problem-solving, and ethical living. It asks us to shift our focus from seeking status through external markers to developing an inner richness that can spark positive change and inspire those around us. A person who embodies this principle becomes a beacon, someone whose influence extends beyond what can be quantified, touching lives in ways that last far longer than any material legacy. Ultimately, true wealth is found in what we pass down that endures, the spark of an idea that motivates generations, the example of a life lived with integrity, the wisdom that helps others navigate their own journeys. This is the kind of wealth that grows as it's shared, making not just the individual but the world around them richer. Adapting to change is one of the most profound and challenging endeavors a person can undertake. Change, in all its forms, whether sudden or gradual, welcome or feared, is an inevitable part of life. The Stoics, wise sages of resilience, taught that change is not merely something to be endured, but something to be actively embraced and shaped. This approach transforms change from a storm to be weathered into a powerful current that can carry us toward growth and self-mastery. Imagine life as a vast and unpredictable ocean. The waves, sometimes gentle and sometimes ferocious, represent the constant shifts and turns of our circumstances. Some people cling tightly to their ship, rigid and unmoving, hoping to maintain control even as the sea changes around them. But the Stoic understands that true strength lies not in resisting the waves but in learning to navigate them with grace. In this way, adapting to change is not about being tossed aimlessly by life's currents, but about harnessing them to propel oneself forward. The cornerstone of the Stoic philosophy on change is the concept of the dichotomy of control, first introduced by Epictetus. This principle divides the world into two domains: what we can control and what we cannot. Our thoughts, actions, and decisions fall into the realm of our control. On the other hand, the actions of others, the passage of time, and much of the external world lie beyond our influence. Recognizing this distinction is not a surrender. Rather, it is the first step in empowering ourselves to act meaningfully where we can and accept with tranquility where we cannot. To adapt to change, one must first shift their perspective. Instead of viewing change as an enemy, consider it as an opportunity disguised as an unknown. The human mind is naturally inclined to fear uncertainty, yet the most extraordinary growth often occurs when we step into the unknown. It is in these moments that we test our adaptability, refine our character, and expand our capabilities. By reframing change as a tool for transformation, we equip ourselves to approach it with curiosity and resolve, rather than dread. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, often reflected on this concept in his Meditations. He spoke of being like a rocky promontory, against which the waves of life break continuously. The rock does not break. It stands firm, allowing the water to flow around it. This imagery isn't just poetic, it embodies the Stoic idea that steadiness comes not from resisting change with rigidity but from embracing it with an understanding heart and an adaptable spirit. The rock does not challenge the sea, it exists in harmony with it, unyielding yet flexible in its strength. Practically, adapting to change involves cultivating mental habits that encourage resilience and growth. This means engaging in continual self-reflection and assessment. The Stoics believed in examining their responses to daily events, asking questions like, "Did I respond with wisdom or impulse? What lesson does this experience teach me?" This practice fosters awareness and readiness to modify one's approach as circumstances evolve. Furthermore, adapting to change means embracing discomfort. Growth rarely occurs within the safety of the familiar. It is often the unexpected detours and challenges that compel us to develop new skills, learn more about ourselves, and strengthen our resolve. The Stoics viewed hardship as a forge, molding and tempering the mind. Seneca put it succinctly when he said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Each obstacle is not just a challenge to overcome but a lesson waiting to be learned, a chance to build the internal fortitude that makes future changes less intimidating. Change also demands flexibility, not in our principles, but in our methods. It requires us to stay true to our values while being willing to alter our strategies. The world is in a state of perpetual motion, and those who insist on moving against the current often exhaust themselves without ever reaching their goals. However, those who learn to shift their sails, redirect their efforts, and pivot when necessary are the ones who thrive. This doesn't mean abandoning our aims at the first sign of difficulty. It means approaching them with a dynamic mindset, willing to adjust while holding steadfast to our deeper purpose. The ability to adapt is more than just a survival skill, it's a way of fostering continuous personal growth. Each new wave of change, whether anticipated or abrupt, tests our patience, demands our courage, and refines our wisdom. It is through these trials that we become more robust and agile in mind and spirit. The beauty of this philosophy lies in its reminder that change does not diminish us. If we allow it, it elevates us. Ultimately, adapting to change in the Stoic sense is not a passive act. It's an intentional, active practice of resilience, engagement, and thoughtful response. It's learning to dance with the shifting rhythms of life, finding balance in instability, and strength in uncertainty. Through this lens, change is no longer a force that disrupts, it becomes an essential part of the journey, an engine for growth that propels us toward becoming our best selves. Lifelong learning and self-reflection are the twin pillars that support the journey of personal evolution, guiding individuals not just to knowledge, but to wisdom. These concepts are integral to anyone seeking a life of purpose and growth, embodying the essence of what it means to thrive in a world that never stops shifting and evolving. The Stoics, with their timeless insights, champion these practices as essential tools for anyone committed to mastery over themselves and a meaningful engagement with the world. To explore lifelong learning is to embrace the idea that education does not end at the schoolhouse doors or with the closing of textbooks. Instead, It's a perpetual quest, a commitment to a state of curiosity that reaches beyond formal training and spills into every corner of existence. Imagine a life where every moment, every interaction, and every challenge is seen as an opportunity to learn. This perspective transforms the mundane into the magnificent. Every experience, whether success or failure, becomes a chapter in the unfolding story of personal growth. The Stoics viewed lifelong learning as a continuous exercise in acquiring and applying wisdom. For them, wisdom was not just the accumulation of facts or skills, but the deep understanding of life's principles and how to live in accordance with them. This means studying not only through books and teachings but through the practice of observing oneself and the world, reflecting on outcomes, and refining one's approach based on these insights. It's learning forged not only in quiet contemplation but also in the fires of daily life. Self-reflection, the second pillar, is the practice that transforms knowledge into personal evolution. Without it, learning is shallow and easily forgotten, akin to rain skimming the surface of dry soil without penetrating it. Self-reflection acts as the deep tilling that ensures insights take root and yield transformation. To reflect is to pause and turn inward, asking probing questions. Why did I react that way? What can I learn from this experience? How can I improve my responses and actions in the future? These moments of introspection are not just fleeting thoughts. They are deliberate, conscious efforts to understand the self and align actions with core values. For the Stoics, this practice was as essential as breathing. The philosopher Seneca believed that each day should end with a mental inventory. Before resting, he would review the day's events, analyzing his decisions, his emotional responses, and how he measured up against his ideals. This wasn't an exercise in self-criticism but in self-clarification. The goal was not to dwell on mistakes but to learn from them, preparing to face the next day with renewed focus and insight. This practice, known as the evening review, is still revered as a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness and direction in life. Lifelong learning, when intertwined with self-reflection, becomes a powerful engine of personal growth. Together, they create a cycle. Learning feeds reflection, and reflection deepens learning. This continuous loop helps one adapt to new challenges and changes with agility, refining character and understanding with each turn. Unlike rigid forms of education that culminate in a final exam or degree, lifelong learning fueled by self-reflection is an endless journey. It acknowledges that mastery is not a destination but a path walked with humility and a readiness to admit gaps in knowledge. What makes this concept particularly intriguing is how it transforms how we perceive failure and adversity. In a culture that often celebrates only success, the Stoic approach teaches us that setbacks are some of the greatest teachers. When coupled with reflective practice, challenges and mistakes are no longer threats to our self-worth but are instead powerful moments of education. Each misstep becomes an invitation to understand oneself more deeply, to unearth hidden assumptions, and to grow stronger and more capable. Self-reflection and lifelong learning also encourage adaptability, an essential trait in a world marked by change. Those who reflect and learn continuously can pivot when needed, finding solutions in unexpected places and remaining resilient in the face of upheaval. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, noted, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom underscores the importance of looking inward for stability and direction when external circumstances are uncertain. Moreover, lifelong learning isn't confined to the realm of intellectual pursuits. It involves emotional and moral growth as well. It is about understanding and managing emotions, cultivating empathy, and fostering virtues like courage, patience, and temperance. When paired with self-reflection, this holistic learning approach makes for not only a knowledgeable person but a wise one, someone who navigates life with insight, understanding, and integrity. For practical application, the journey starts with cultivating an attitude of curiosity and a habit of regular reflection. This means engaging with a variety of perspectives, seeking out new experiences, and setting aside time for quiet thought. It could involve journaling to capture lessons learned, discussing insights with trusted friends or mentors, or simply carving out moments each day to sit with one's thoughts and examine the day's events. What matters is the commitment to being a student of life, forever in pursuit of greater understanding. Lifelong learning paired with self-reflection becomes not just an approach to personal growth, but a way of being. It weaves wisdom into the fabric of daily life, ensuring that we live not by accident but by design. Through this practice, we become more than just participants in the world. We become engaged architects of our paths, consistently fine-tuning our actions to align with the ideals that shape our highest selves. It is a timeless pursuit, one that pays dividends not just in what we know but in who we become. Leadership rooted in virtue. A Stoic leader's resilience is also a hallmark of their approach. They understand that life's challenges are inevitable and view these trials as opportunities to demonstrate strength and adaptability. When facing uncertainty, they remain composed, ensuring that their presence is a stabilizing force for those around them. This calm under pressure empowers others to navigate difficult circumstances with confidence and resolve, strengthening the group as a whole. Moreover, Stoic leadership is deeply introspective. Leaders rooted in virtue regularly reflect on their actions, seeking to learn from both successes and failures. This commitment to lifelong learning shapes a leader who evolves continuously, maintaining humility and openness to growth. By embracing feedback and adapting thoughtfully, they not only improve themselves but create an environment where others are encouraged to pursue their own paths of wisdom and excellence. This cycle of self-improvement and inspiration fuels a culture where everyone strives toward collective virtue and resilience. In addition, a Stoic leader recognizes the power of service over authority. True leadership, in their view, is not about wielding power but about empowering others. They focus on the well-being and growth of their team, offering guidance and support to help each individual thrive. By putting the needs of others first, they cultivate trust and loyalty, creating a community where collaboration and shared goals flourish. This selfless approach not only enhances the leader's influence but also fosters an atmosphere of mutual respect and collective purpose, where everyone feels valued and motivated to contribute their best. Sharing insights to inspire others is a powerful way to foster growth, not just for ourselves but for the collective good. It goes beyond simply imparting knowledge. It's about offering lessons that have shaped our own lives, hoping they spark transformation in those who hear them. When we share the wisdom we've gathered, we give others the opportunity to see life through a new lens, helping them navigate their own challenges with a deeper sense of purpose and clarity. This sharing isn't about positioning ourselves as experts, but as fellow travelers who have learned through our experiences, ready to offer what we've learned so others can thrive too. At the heart of this process is vulnerability. To truly inspire, we must be willing to share not just our successes, but also our struggles. It's easy to present an image of perfection, but real growth often comes from acknowledging the obstacles we've faced and the lessons we've gained from them. When we share our failures alongside our triumphs, we show others that setbacks are not signs of weakness but stepping stones to greater wisdom. This openness fosters a sense of connection, allowing others to relate to our journey and find encouragement in their own. Moreover, sharing insights isn't about dictating how others should live, it's about planting seeds of thought that encourage reflection and self-discovery. The goal isn't to tell someone exactly what to do but to spark their curiosity about their own path. By sharing what has worked for us, we empower others to find their own answers. Each insight shared is a catalyst for action, a chance for others to explore, question, and adapt what resonates with their own experiences and values. This process can ignite a ripple effect, where each person influenced by our words becomes a source of inspiration in their own right. Finally, when we share insights to inspire, we contribute to a broader narrative of collective growth. We become part of a larger conversation about resilience, purpose, and self-improvement, one that transcends individual experiences and unites us in our shared humanity. In a world where personal stories often remain isolated, the act of sharing connects us all. It reminds us that, despite our differences, we all face struggles, we all seek meaning, and we all have the capacity to inspire and uplift one another. Through this exchange of wisdom, we create a community of mutual support, where inspiration flows freely and everyone has the opportunity to grow together. In conclusion, as we reflect on the Stoic way, we recognize that this philosophy is not just an ancient practice but a pathway to personal growth and resilience that transcends time. The Stoic mindset, grounded in wisdom, courage, and self-control, helps us navigate life's challenges with strength and grace. Every step along this journey not only transforms our own lives but also has the power to positively impact those around us. By continuing to reflect, learn, and grow, we build a life rooted in virtue and resilience. As you move forward, remember that each moment offers an opportunity to strengthen your character and become a beacon of strength for others. We invite you to continue exploring Stoic wisdom, using it as a tool for self-improvement and leadership in the world. Together, let's cultivate lives of meaning, courage, and virtuous action. Keep reflecting, keep growing, and let the Stoic journey guide you toward a fulfilling life of purpose.